Hey guys, it's Dan with another book review. This time we're reviewing Stephen King's The Outsider. This is Stephen King's The Outsider, but it's also going to be a part of another series, and it's book one in the Holly Gibney series. If you're not really familiar with who Holly Gibney is, she is a character from another Stephen King series. One which I will admit I have not read yet. It is the Bill Hodges trilogy. I wasn't really quick to jump on those books because I heard that they weren't horror books, that they're more mystery thrillers, I think. Which, to be honest with you, when I decided I wanted to read this, I didn't realize that this wasn't horror either. That this is more of a mystery thriller, too. But enough of that, let's get into it. This was published around May of 2018, so it's been out for a little over a year. I will admit that I did want to read this as soon as it came out, but I just wasn't in the mood for a Stephen King book right away at the time that it came out. I kind of purposely put it off just because sometimes I don't want to read a book as soon as it comes out, especially when it's like being hyped up. So I just wasn't in the mood to read this right away. Now, being that this is it's going to be a new series, so I don't know why all of a sudden Stephen King has been writing more mystery thrillers, but it is what it is. This starts out introducing us to a case that's kind of really... let's just say, for those who could be easily triggered, it does involve the murder of children. So if that's something that bothers you, you might not want to read this. It comes into somewhat graphic detail, but not too much. It introduces the character of Terry Maitland, and Terry Maitland has been accused of murdering this kid from his town. But the thing is, Terry Maitland was someplace else at the time that this supposedly happened. And wherein lies, can he have been in two places at once? I won't say anything more about that, because if I do, then I'll spoil it. This was really, really fast-paced. I picked this up on August 31st, and it took me about a month to finish it. It was so... to tell you the truth, I don't really remember any slow parts. Like, it just pretty much chugs right along, and I was devouring like 10 plus pages a day to get through this, because you just want to find out what's going on, like, what happened. What is the mystery all about? Who did it? Did he really kill this kid? And if so, how did he do it? And even when you think you've got a little bit of a piece of the puzzle to figure out what's going on, you're still far from the truth. Which, don't let this book, don't let this deter you from reading it, just because it is a big book. It is a big book, but at the same time, King keeps you in suspense and wanting to know what's going on, so you're just going to keep plugging through it. It is worth picking up and reading. I'm not usually one for mystery thrillers, I will admit, but like, I do every once in a while like a good whodunit, and of course, being that it's Stephen King, it does have the supernatural element to it. So I will add that. That makes it slightly more interesting, because I was thinking that's why I don't really get into mystery thrillers, because they're just usually like that Agatha Christie kind of stuff. I can't read that kind of stuff. But being that there's a supernatural element, it will keep you interested if that is the thing. If that's right up your alley, then yeah, this book will be right there for you. One of the things I had to comment on is, if this is Holly Gibney book one, for that being the case, the character wasn't even introduced until like 3/4 into the book. And to be honest with you, because I hadn't read the Bill Hodges trilogy, I had no idea who she was. But that's another thing. You don't have to have read that prior trilogy to pick up this book and get something out of it. It's not like this that there's a prerequisite to... You could read this without having read that other series, if that makes any sense. Now, I imagine that the book 2 is going to be a completely different story just because of the way this ended. And she's kind of like a detective, like she does like random cases. And I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that book 2 is going to have the supernatural element too to keep me interested. If not, then I just won't continue with the series. Because like I said, I have yet to read the Bill Hodges trilogy. I don't know if they're just straight mystery thrillers or if they do have the element of the supernatural, which I'm kind of hoping they do. I'm going to have to go back and check those ones out. But this one stood at 561 pages. Like I said, it took me about 30 days to get through it. Really, really fast-paced. King, he does a good job with writing. He does do research before he really gets into a story, and this one takes place in Oklahoma and parts of Texas. So it was kind of interesting. The characters were slightly interesting, although I do think that he tends to write the same types of characters. That's kind of the feeling I got when I was reading about the characters. So, but you know, they were good. It was good and well written. One of the other downsides I found of this was once he explains the supernatural element of the story, I just wish it would have been beefed up a little bit more. I wish there would have been a little bit more of an explanation on that. And maybe a little more focus on that. I felt like towards the end it started to get like it was kind of rushed through to the end, and if there would have been a little bit more of an explanation of that, then I would have been more apt to rate this higher. I did rate this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I did say it had some downsides, but those are like minor setbacks for me in reading this book. It is making me want to go and check out book 2 when that comes out, and that comes out sometime in 2020. I don't know exactly when in 2020 he plans on releasing that, but he does plan for a 2020 release of book 2. And like I said, it's probably going to be a whole different case. It's not really going to have anything to do with this one, because this is like a separate case, and hopefully Holly is going to be right in the beginning of that book and not like introduced 3/4 of the way through it. But it is what it is. Like I said, this is a very good book. If you're into mystery thrillers, you might really want to check this out. If you are a classic Stephen King fan, I still think you'll get something out of this with the supernatural element in it. And the way he writes his characters, you're going to be like, yeah, oh yeah, that's King. Yeah, definitely. I will have a link down below to pick this up if you'd like to pick up a copy of this for yourselves. For UK, US, and Canada, that link should work for the Amazon. Also, I have a book depository link that's free worldwide shipping. You can pick up this book or any other book. They offer great discounts. They are related to Amazon, so I think that's how they're able to do that. I do appreciate any and all of y'all that have purchased things through the links. It helps me out. I get a very small percentage of it, but it beats not getting AdSense at all because I just don't have the subs. I have the views, I just don't have the subs. So if you came here looking for book reviews, go ahead and hit that subscriber link. While you're there, hit that notification bell. I've been trying to do more regular book reviews. I did in the past used to do more comic book graphic novel reviews, but I'm trying to stagger it, so I'm doing almost 50-50, trying to do more regular books too at the same time to kind of, keep it so that both sides of the subscriber audience box are happy. So that's all I got for you guys. Till next time, catch you later.